Okay. So, I should have done this a lot sooner, but just been tired, stressed out, and everything. So, what we're going to do first is talk about this speech. Okay, so check this out real quick.
Engaging in personal grievances and it being about him
Madam
instead
Vice
of
President,
the American people. People are tired of that.
If that's the case, why is half the country supporting him? Why is he beating you in a lot of swing states? Why, if he's as bad as you say, that half of this country is now supporting this person who could be the 47th president of the United States? Why is that happening?
This is an election for president of the United States. It's not supposed to be easy.
I know, but
it's not supposed to be. It is not supposed to be a cakewalk for anyone.
So are they misguided, the 50%?
Listen,
are they stupid? What is it?
I would never say that about the American people. And in fact, if you listen to Donald Trump, if you watch any of his rallies, he's the one who tends to demean and belittle and diminish the American people. He's the one who talks about an enemy within, an enemy within, talking about the American people, suggesting he would turn the American military on the American people.
We asked that question to the...
Okay, we're going to stop that shit show right there. Because... guess what has happened, people? This is just fucking... it's unbelievable. It really is. And it's sickening. And I don't know what's going on. Nobody knows what the fuck's going on. This is about DoD Directive 5240.01. And you can go look this up online. Just Google search it. It'll take you to the fucking government's website. And you can look at it yourself. You can download it. You can color on it. You can wipe your ass on it for all I care. It's there. Actually, there's two of them. One of them is from an earlier date, but this is totally different than that one. Actually, do I have them both? Yeah, I do have them both. Let me go ahead and... Okay. Didn't want to do that. There it finally goes. Alrighty. You can tell I'm a noob at this bullshit. So, what that is basically a manual of how we handle intelligence. Counterintelligence. Intelligence oversight. And let's see if this is... Okay, no, that's the actual directive. Okay. It's all about collecting intelligence. But it's changed. Let's see, there's two of them. And we'll start with this one. Because this one is pretty much holds up to what they say it is. DoD Manual 5240.01 Procedures governing the conduct of DoD intelligence activities. DoD is the Department of Defense. So, let's go to here. August 8th, 2016. This establishes procedures to enable DoD to conduct authorized intelligence activities in a manner that protects the constitutional and legal rights and the privacy of civil liberties of U.S. persons. DoD authorized intelligence activities are foreign intelligence and counterintelligence (CI) activities unless otherwise specified in this issuance. This authorizes the defense intelligence components to collect, retain, and disseminate information concerning U.S. persons in compliance with applicable laws, executive orders, policies, and regulations. There's a table of contents, scope, and it is what it is. It is what it says it is. Let's try this right here real quick. Where's the search bar? There it is. Let's type in the word lethal. Nada. Nothing. Nothing there. So, here's the new one. Just released September 27th, 2024. It's been cleared for public release. It's available at the website. Reissues and cancels the previous one. It's been approved by Kathleen Hicks, Deputy Secretary of Defense. This issuance implements Executive Orders 12333, 13388, blah, 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 blah. Establishes policy and provides direction for DoD intelligence and intelligence-related activities. Oh, same old stuff, right? Right. What's the big deal? Assigns responsibilities and provides guidelines for defense intelligence component intelligence assistance to law enforcement agencies and other civil authorities. There's a table of contents. So, remember what Kamala said? What Trump's going to do? Well, guess who's actually doing it? Yep, you guessed it. Let's make this a shortcut. Let's type in lethal. Holy shit. We found it. Oh my God, who put that shit there? So, this is down at 3.3 levels of authority. Everything's so cool so far. Except right here, provision of personnel to support response efforts for civil disturbances, which may also, doesn't have to, but may also require presidential authorization. DoD response to chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear, and high-yield explosive incidents. That's kind of weird. That's not even nothing like that in the other one. Assistance in responding with assets. That means tanks, Bradleys, whatever the hell they got. They're bringing it. With assistance in responding with their assets with potential for lethality or any situation in which is reasonably foreseeable that providing the requested assistance may involve the use of force that is likely to result in lethal force, including death or serious bodily injury. It also includes all support to civilian law enforcement officials in situations where a confrontation between civilian law enforcement and civilian individuals or groups is reasonably anticipated. Means it doesn't have to happen yet. If they're anticipating it, guess what? Such use of force must be in accordance with DoD 520.56, potentially as further restricted based on the specifics of the requested support. Yeah. Provision or use of DoD unmanned systems, drones, in the United States except as delegated by the Secretary of Defense. For matters not reserved to the Secretary of Defense, the decision to approve requests for the types of permissible assistance described to law enforcement agencies and other civil authorities is reverted to the USD. Coordination with the Undersecretary of Defense for policy if required. The number of requested personnel exceeds 20 people. The duration of the requested assistance exceeds 30 days. Yeah, you see where this shit's going? This is bad. This is sickening that somebody has the audacity to do this. Approval considerations. Approval of requests for permissible assistance described in paragraph 3.2 may be provided. May be provided. It doesn't say it will be. It may be provided on a case-by-case basis or may be provided for a particular type of assistance or operation that must be conducted in accordance with GOD 5240.01. The legal office responsible, subject to paragraph 22C, for advising the approval authority must determine the assistance may be provided lawfully. The approval authority will consider these factors: lethality, the extent to which the assistance to be provided involves the potential use of lethal force; risk, the threat that providing the assistance will pose to the safety of both the general public and the Defense Intelligence Component's workforce, including personnel providing the assistance, and the potential compromise of critical information or sources and methods as identified through the application. I'm so fucking sick of looking at this. So, there you have it. Look who has turned the military on its own fucking people. You guessed it. How many times have they sit there and said, oh, Trump's a threat to democracy? MAGA Republicans are a threat to democracy. Well, how do you deal with threats? Roll out the military. You know, I could see this starting a civil war really freaking quick, which is not going to end well. Any kind of war never ends well. So, God. You know, this just blows my mind. You know, they ain't gonna report this shit unless it just came out September 27th real quietly. Why? Nobody knows. There shouldn't even be a reason for this period. This is evil. I mean, fuck. This is tyranny in the making right here. So, you know, they control the media anyway. You know, look at all this, everything Trump says is a fucking lie. But here you go. Check this out. Yeah, remember the Venezuelan gangs that are taking over apartment complexes? What'd they say about that? It was misinformation. It's not happening. Okay.
Is flat out disputing.
Well, Martha, you just said the mayor said they were exaggerated.
Grossly exaggerated. He's making these statements that the mayor is flat out disputing.
Well, Martha, you just said the mayor said they were exaggerated.
Grossly exaggerated.
That means there's got to be some element of truth here. And of course, President Trump was actually in Aurora, Colorado, talking to people on the ground. And what we're hearing, of course, Martha, is that people are terrified by what has happened with some of these Venezuelan gangs.
And Senator Vance, I'm going to stop you because I know exactly what happened.
Martha.
I'm going to stop you. The incidents were limited to a handful of apartment complexes, and the mayor said our dedicated police officers have acted on those concerns. A handful of problems.
Do you hear yourself? Only a
They said
handful
there's
of
none.
apartment complexes in America were taken over by Venezuelan gangs, and Donald Trump is the problem and not Kamala Harris's open border. Americans are so fed up with what's going on, and they have every right to be.
But he's making these statements that the mayor is flat out disputing.
Well, Martha, you just said the mayor.
You guys said it's bullshit, it's misinformation, it ain't happening. Now you're saying it is. Only a handful. You can't justify that by saying that. I mean, one complex is one too many. And it's happened to have, God knows how many. They ain't going to tell us. You know? So, anyway, nobody knows what's going to happen, but election's coming up, and who knows? I mean, here in Oklahoma, the FBI already was arrested one or two individuals buying up AKs and a bunch of ammo, and they had something planned for Election Day. I'm pretty sure it wasn't clay pigeon shooting. So, Best advice I can give you actually is from this video right here. The FBI whistleblower. You can hear the shit in his voice. This is horrible. They put him through and his family through hell. But yeah, check this out, and then I'm gonna wrap this up.
I recognize myself for 5 minutes. And Mr. Allen, I'm going to give you a little notice. You've written some notes. As far as I'm concerned, you're the person I'm most interested in hearing from. I'm from Charlotte. I know I've been to the Charlotte field office. I know some people there. I was extraordinarily impressed by you and the other whistleblowers when you previously appeared before the subcommittee. I'm impressed by you again. I haven't been able to be here the whole time. I'm going to yield you some time, just if you have things that you wish to say in just a moment. But the first thing I'm going to say before I do that, and then I'm going to give Mr. Jordan the rest of my time, is I'm just overwhelmingly troubled by the fact that no one seems to be able to do much about what has happened to you. You got the Inspector General, very respectable person. You've done a lot of things that have been historic, but you know, you issue a management alert. And to me, it sounds ridiculous to say you don't think these guys at the FBI, the senior managers, understand that they shouldn't retaliate against somebody by putting them under extreme personal hardship while they engage in a completely baseless persecution over their
Pause this right here. From what my understanding is, they had put him on some kind of administrative leave. He didn't get paid, and he was not able to seek employment anywhere else. I don't know how that's possible, but they did that. And they barely made by. This went on for, I think, 21 months. Imagine that, 21 months with no money. They just think they have 2 kids, maybe? I don't quote me on that. I don't know. That's fucked up. You know, whistleblowers are supposed to be protected. Yeah, they're not.
Their security clearance, and they leave them in limbo for 27 months, and to this moment haven't paid what I understand to be the consideration under the settlement that's been reached.
Yeah.
That is astonishing. And if that's not astonishing enough, that all you can do is issue an alert. Congress does absolutely nothing. In the majority party, not one thing to impose on the Department of Justice or the FBI an appropriate sanction for what they've done. And we have a hearing about it, and everybody in the minority party, they're fearing what Donald Trump would do in the next administration while they sit here and they look at the guy who's been persecuted by the FBI.
Yep.
And everybody in the room understands it. Mr. Allen, do you have comments you wish to make? I'll give you about a minute and a half, and then I want to turn the rest of my time to Mr. Jordan.
Yes, sir. I would just say that I consider the hearing today my last act of service as a public servant for the United States of America. And I'll give you my professional opinion. I was an intel professional for our country for many years, and I would give recommendations, and I'd also look at indications and warnings. So I would offer this to the American people as my warning to them. Since this is a warning to the American people, I say, I personally have no confidence that the FBI will rein in its own conduct. I've been persecuted along with Garrett, Steve and Kyle, and countless other whistleblowers. It is my opinion that the Bureau used reprisal and fear to control the workforce. It has been a seemingly effective tactic. I personally believe that there are no current effective checks and balances against them conducting lawless action with any type of correction in a legitimate time frame. I welcome the work of the IG, but I think any type of lawless action, there's no legitimate time frame to rein them back in. Their ability to overclassify information can allow them to stonewall forever. To the American people, you have a duty as a citizen to vote, and I strongly urge you to do so. It's how you participate in the American experience. I know people have doubts about election integrity, but you must vote. It is your claim.
Yep.
Stake your claim and don't forfeit it willingly. Have your voice heard. My other recommendations are in the natural order. First, vote. The second is the Second Amendment. Arm yourself and know how to defend yourself. Make 3 to 4 friends in your neighborhood and promise to come to each other's mutual aid in times of hardship. And during the Great Depression, people stocked up a pantry. So I think that's a good practice, especially in our economic times, and make sure you have 3 to 4 months of food. And as a person of faith, I'd say pray the rosary, Go to the First Friday devotions. That's for everybody, all my brothers and sisters of all faiths, and I know I'm Catholic. And read the gospel of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, and live it every day. And that's all I have to say. Thank you for the time.
You know, Mr. Allen, the fact that there are servants like you who have borne up under persecution that a lot of political leaders in this country do not care about is the thing that heartens the American people, and I'm confident the American people will resolve the situation no matter how weak Washington is in response. Mr. Jordan, I'm sorry I didn't reserve much time for you, but I yield to you.
That's just heart-wrenching right there. You can hear it in his voice. So, what can we do? Like you said, vote. Get a gun. Learn how to use it. Get some ammo. Start stocking up food. You know, canned food, dry goods, stuff like that. What does that mean? Well, don't panic for one, because we don't know. Nobody knows what's going to happen. I'm hoping everybody's hoping that nothing happens, but you just don't know. You know, this is it seems like right now this is just one big powder keg getting ready to blow. So keep your head on a swivel and be prepared is the best thing I can tell you. You know, hope for the best, prepare for the worst. It's pretty simple stuff. Have a safe place to go, and may God help us all.